Do 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 do.
No.
Ba 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 ba.
And copyright.
So, Disney commissions a Star Wars themed electronic music album. Cute, right? So you're thinking, shit, the Disney wants a Star Wars electronic music album. I don't want to listen to that. Does anybody want to listen to that? I don't think so.
I do.
Probably not going to be very good.
It'd be interesting.
Let's admit it. And then I find out Rick Rubin is executive producer of the project. And then you perk your ears up. You're like, what you saying now? And I'm like, I might have to give it a little listen. You kind of got my interest.
And then you read the list of names on this thing.
Yeah, and then you fucking get these fucking producers, like the most exciting electronic producers in the world right now, like an amazing list.
Troy Boy.
Bauer.
Cascade.
Claude Von Stroke.
A-Track.
Rick Rubin.
Bonobo.
Ryksup.
Atlas.
Flying Lotus.
Galantis.
Shlomo.
You missed out GTA.
We were going for the exciting ones.
Yeah.
Nothing against GTA.
That's why I started with Troy Boy.
Okay. Okay, so as you can see.
I want to give some context on this.
Context.
Firstly, we did Ryksupp's single from this last week.
We did.
There was like very little publication for it, so we were like, where the fuck is this from? Why has it got Star Wars in it?
Yeah.
And
Why does
this
it
is
have
actually,
Yeah, that's
interestingly
good.
enough, this is actually the second time Disney have done this. They did it before with an album called Deconstructed, where they got a load of artists, big artists there as well. They didn't have as many artists, and they didn't have as interesting artists. They had more big-time EDM people there. It was people like Avicii was on there and stuff like that, and Armin van Buuren and stuff.
Small.
And but they had all like remixes of Disney films. So there was some modern ones. There was like Frozen and stuff on there. But then there was also Lion King remixes and stuff by Matt Zhu. And so when I saw this, I was
Lion
like,
King remixes doesn't sound great.
Yeah, but it's by
actually
Matt
good.
Zhu, so it's okay.
that was actually one of the best tracks on there. But that one, I thought it was a bit weak. It had some alright interesting stuff on there. But I was like, I mean, yeah, it's Disney sort of stuff. And then this is very weird because they've got a load of artists on here, but they managed to have quite a consistent feel, which doesn't fit into what a lot of these artists do. It's very much a modern sort of dark festival sort of dance atmosphere on here. Lots of very percussive, very deep tracks, which isn't sort of a lot of what this do. It starts off with Cascade's track, C-3PO's Plight, and it's very un-Cascade. Think of Cascade, you think of songs like I Remember. Big sort of bright progressive arpeggios and stuff and big synths, but this is more of like a halftime sort of flumy sort of track.
Flume. Good artist. Check him out.
And I actually was surprised with not only how this sounded, but how much I liked this first song. I thought Cascade's opening gambit on this album was pretty interesting.
It wasn't one of my faves.
I thought it was a piece of shit.
I really liked it.
Okay.
That
So,
was really good.
so if you don't know who Rick Rubin is, he's been the producer behind like all the legendary people of all time, like Beastie Boys, Run DMC, Public Enemy, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Johnny Cash, Rage Against the Machine, Jay-Z, Kanye West, Ed Sheeran. He's produced.
Eminem as well.
Yeah, he's in there.
No one knows who he is though.
He only did Eminem's
Little-
recent stuff though.
little
he didn't
known-
do any of Eminem's come out stuff like he did for a lot of people.
Yeah. So, you know this dude has like supreme taste in music. Which is why there are so many sick fucking artists all over this. He's handpicked who he must think are the best. And he has. These are the best.
Although interestingly, personally, I thought some of the worst tracks on here, not the worst, but some of the less tracks on here were the ones Rick Rubin did directly himself.
Agreed.
I thought his track NRG7 was
Dull.
it was varied, but it was pretty messy and didn't really have anything that much going for it. And his remix of the A-Track and Shag Carver song was just pretty boring trap
Didn't
stuff.
like it.
I thought they were two of the weakest, and I was surprised because normally.
Sorry, he's breathing heavily in my right ear. I've got to know what's going on here. Have you simply got an
I thought it
erection,
was the
or
best
is it?
one. I thought it was the best track.
Which one?
I thought that
A
was
track.
genuinely like the best
Which
Star Wars
one?
remix I've ever listened to.
Which one?
NRG7.
Really?
Interesting.
I thought it was very Rick Rubin. I thought it was awesome compared to everything else I'd listened to before that. I thought genuinely the first 6 tracks on this album were really bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I
What
liked
about the Bauer?
I like C3PO's
The only
play.
thing I liked about the Bow one was his production, but I thought the song itself was actually just bad.
I thought the Bow one was pretty good. I really liked the Troy Boy one actually. I thought the Troy Boy one was pretty sort of bouncy trap, almost more Murmurous, but not with the sort of softness of him. It was a bit darker. I really liked that.
Didn't pique my interest too much. The Troy
GTA's
Boy.
track was pretty generic GTA sort of festival dancey stuff, but I didn't think it was awful. It was amazing.
EDM Imperial March. It was like the worst thing ever. It was genuinely
Yeah, I
the
didn't-
worst
didn't-
idea
didn't like
anyone
that.
has ever come up with.
I thought it was alright. But the Rick Rubin ones I thought were bad, man. I
Yeah.
did not like them at all. I thought the worst song on here was near the end, Ewok Pump by Rusty.
That
I thought that was
that was
just
fucking bad.
absolutely
Sucked.
awful. That was really bad.
That was just like the most obnoxious
I was
shit.
not at all into that, but I think that was the worst.
I
Followed
thought the
by
Bonobo one was nice.
That's
The
because
Bonobo
Bonobo
one-
fucking
Bonobo is
rules.
excellent, and the Bonobo
Atmospheric.
one was really nice. Yeah,
Really chill, weird, different to everything else on here. The fact that everything on this was basically what I imagine is they were told, okay, so you can just do a track, but you have to have it like Star Wars themed,
Yeah.
and you can
Yeah.
use samples and stuff because we'll give you all the permission to do that. Off you go, and the really high class producers went and used them subtly.
which is interesting because you say that, but I think Rick Rubin's NRG7 was one of the worst uses of.
I thought
the
it was
samples and all of
fantastic.
them. I think it was so like choppily, like badly, sort of like old school sound done, and not. I didn't think it was. But let's
Choppily
move
old
off
school
those
sound
ones.
done.
Let's move off those ones because I think you're right with the Bonobo track. It was really interesting.
The
Sort
Roy
of
Club
minimal
one,
progressive
as
thing.
we all
Amazing.
agreed,
Agreed
was
on.
wicked.
I think the next track's well, the Atlas one, I really liked.
Atlas one was
Had some
good.
cool vocoder stuff. I think this was the one with the best sampling in all of them.
He actually used like
Yeah.
speech from Han
And
Solo.
he actually made it a thing, and he didn't just have
noises.
it like cutting in and being over it. Like in the Rock run, as much as we liked that track, because I think it was the best. Like the bits that weren't Star Wars were the best in it.
Yeah.
The best just synthesized stuff going on. In that one, it was just we said like. It's sort of the samples didn't really help the track. It didn't really feel like it was adding to the track. It was just on top of the track. Whereas in the Atlas one, I felt like he managed to make it like an interesting part of the track.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
really-
like instead of the other ones who literally just had like their sampling ear out for like that could be a cool noise, that could be a cool little insert there. They actually went for some narrative and took little
Yeah.
bits of speech that kind of influenced the feeling of the song and how like the emotions.
I
of the
also
song.
think it had the best title, Sunset Over Manan. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
like
I preferred Scruffy Looking Nerf Herder
Scruffy Looking
personally
Nurse
as
Herder
the
was
name of the
also
song.
the title, yeah. And that's another one like the Cascade one where you guys might not know this because Galantis aren't big, but that is not at all Galantis' sound. They do like dance pop, like Zed, Madian sounding, big happy synthesis, like bubbly sort of happy singing and stuff.
I thought that song was
this
a bit
was
slow
really
to
not bad.
progress.
It
Wasn't bad though.
No, yeah,
Once
it
it
wasn't
got
bad.
there, it was good, but I thought it took a
I
bit too
totally
long
agree
to
with you there.
progress.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I also thought in that some of the lead synthesis was a bit weird. Like some of the leads, I just heard this lead singing and I was like, it just sort of sounds a bit odd. One of the most disappointing ones in here for me was the Flying Lotus track.
Really?
Where
Oh,
I-
Yeah,
enjoyed
I was
that.
actually quite
because
disappointed.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good sound. It had sort of typically Flying Lotus sort of wonky beat, the sparse lead, lots of bleeps and bloops, and I was like, this is pretty cool. Sort of quite. I liked the sort of joke in it as well, the "Where are you?" and using that sample of like the sort of self-referential EDM joke thing in there is pretty good. But that was it. It was a whole song of just this nice beat,
Yeah.
and it didn't do
I
anything
agree.
at all. And
If
that's what
someone
really
like
disappointed me.
rapped over it,
Yeah.
probably very cool.
If something rapped over
Like
it,
Kendrick.
yeah. If you had Kendrick rapping over it, this
9.
would go up to like an 8, you know. But it's right now. It's just like nothing happened. It needed something.
It was
to
really
progress.
chill. It was a little boring.
It's an
Probably a
excellent
bit
background beat.
too subtle.
And it will probably work live. A lot of these tracks will probably be great live in a festival environment. These will probably be absolute banging, but a lot of them weren't so good to listen to. on their
Can
own.
I talk about 2 of my favourite songs on the
Yeah.
album? First of all, I want to talk about the Bauer song, Cantina Boys.
Yep.
Now, one thing I love about Bauer is that they are balls out bombastic with,
Oh, yeah.
with the shit they do, man. And you've got to respect it. And I think the people who like achieved some of the best things in this album were having fun.
Yeah.
Bauer was having fun of it. And you know who else having fun? One of my favourite producers and owner of the record label, Dirty Bird, Claude Von Stroke.
Cloven
they
Strokes
actually
was quite
had
funny.
fun with it.
He actually just made it into pretty much a joke, and he had someone singing on it,
They had singing, like they actually brought in.
and it was actually
Those
amusing.
lyrics are fucking awful, though.
It was fun.
Yeah, do you know what? I totally agree with both of you on this side of the argument. It was awful, but it was sort of one of those things where you're like, it's not meant to be a great, like, deep song. It's just meant to be kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, like Cloven Strokes, like style. I mean, he'll probably admit himself. Sound like they could go best over sort of pornographic material. They're that kind of. It's that kind of dance music, you know. It's that kind of house. But I love the vocals they put over this. I thought it was fun.
Do you know what? It made me think of old stuff like when Deadmau5 made this is the hook.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, where it's just sort of that's, and it's very similar style of electro, and then they just put something funny over the top so that it doesn't get boring, and then you're just like, if you find it amusing, it's great.
Okay. Should we go for best songs?
Yes.
Only 3, James.
Only 3,
particular.
because you would love this album. This sounds like your style. Let's go.
Yeah, I'd give more than 3. No, I wouldn't. I'm gonna go NRG7 by Rick Rubin. Gorm Rassen, if that's how you pronounce
by
it,
Bonobo.
by Bonobo. And Bounty Hunters by Royksop.
Cool. Gareth?
Tracks 7, 8, and 9.
I'm gonna break your rule immediately. I'm gonna go C-3PO's Plight, Force, Bounty Hunters, and Sunset Over Manhattan.
I'm gonna break my rule too. Bauer, Cantina Boys. Cloven Stroke, Barry Drift, All-Too Knows. Royksop, Bounty Hunters.
Holy shit, fuck off, this is like half the album. That's more than half the album.
He hasn't even said 3 tracks yet. He just said all of the other names of the artists.
Atlas, Sunset Over Manhattan.
Yep.
I love the Flying Lotus one. R2, Where Are You? Which is funny still. And you know what? I really like Breakbar at the end. I thought it was just...
The Star Tripper, that was interesting, because I felt like when that came on, it sounded like he was going to try and sound a bit like John Williams.
Yeah.
And it sort of worked. He had that sort of orchestral thing at the beginning, and it was kind of interesting, but I didn't think it went anywhere enough. But it was decent.
Yeah.
Okay,
marks out of 10.
Wasn't the orchestral bit just a sample from the Star Wars soundtrack?
I'm
but
not sure.
one of the
it wasn't
main
one of the...
things.
If it was, it wasn't...
John Williams.
I really don't think it was, because I listened to that soundtrack a lot.
I also read somewhere that they didn't use anything by John Williams on the album.
Yeah, so, okay. Well, that's definitely not in there. But yeah.
Yeah, marks out of 10, James.
It's difficult.
Would you like me to go first while you think?
Yes.
Because I think about this, too many of the tracks had a decent idea but didn't feel finished. They felt sort of underdone. Some of them had like just bits that are like, that just doesn't fit. Like the Glanta song had that lead which just didn't fit and stuff. Some of the songs on here were outright bad. And even some of the better ones, I felt, even when I liked them, like the ones I specifically thought this on was Bauer, where and Flying Lotus as well, where I liked them, but I thought they weren't working up to the quality that their name should be.
Yeah.
Right, I thought they were sort of underperforming, and so I think this would be maybe a strong one, but a 6 out of 10.
Okay. James?
I personally think that the first 6 songs are like some of the worst songs I've ever listened to. And,
so, 9? Strong 9?
Strong 8. 9. But the 3 songs that I said I really liked, I really, really liked. And then the last half of the album was pretty good, minus Ewok Pump, that was shit.
Yeah.
Star Tripper wasn't great either. It was okay. 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 6. You know, the problem with this album is that it's flawed as an album because it's trying to reference Star Wars in every track, which, you know, isn't going to work out to be a great piece of musical work, frankly.
Yeah, if your main goal is referencing.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, like Royksop, he did it well. That it didn't detract from the song, but it didn't give it much. And I feel like with these other ones, it's a bit too just in your face.
Definitely with some of them.
Like, even like the Bonobo one with the constant R2-D2 kind of gets annoying.
I think he fit it in better later, but at points definitely.
Yeah. You still just know that that's only there because...
I like that he at least had a theme to it, but yeah, it wasn't needed.
So, overall, mediocre. We've been the Sonic Squeeze.
But it
mediocre,
did feature
much
the
like
best Star Wars remix ever by Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It featured one of Rick Rubin's worst ever pieces of work.
Do your thing with the fingers.
Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
And subscribe. Bye.
And Armin van Buuren and stuff.
Artist. Small.
And but they had all like remixes of Disney films. So there was some modern ones. There was like Frozen and stuff on there. But then there was also Lion King remixes and stuff by Matt Zhu. And so when I saw this, I was
Lion
like,
King remixes doesn't sound great.
Yeah, but it's by
actually
Matt
good.
Zhu, so it's okay.
that was actually one of the best tracks on there. But that one, I thought it was a bit weak. It had some alright interesting stuff on there. But I was like, I mean, yeah, it's Disney sort of stuff. And then this is very weird because they've got
No.
And copyright.
So, Disney commissions a Star Wars themed electronic music album. Cute, right? These fucking producers, like the most exciting electronic producers in the world right now, like an amazing list.
Troy Boy.
Bauer,
Cascade,
Claude Von Stroke,
A-Track,
Rick Rubin,
Bonobo,
Ryksup,
Atlas,
Flying Lotus,
Galantis.
Shlomo.
You missed out GTA.
We were going for the exciting ones.
Yeah.
Nothing against GTA.
That's why I started with Troy Boy.
Okay. Okay, so as you can... So you're thinking, shit, the Disney wants a Star Wars electronic music album. I don't want to listen to that. Does anybody want to listen to that? I don't think so.
I do.
Probably not going to be very good.
It'd be interesting.
Let's admit it. And then I find out Rick Rubin is executive producer of the project. And then you perk your ears up. You're like, uh-huh. Oh, what you saying now? And I'm like, I might have to give it a little listen. You kind of got my interest.
And then you read the list of names on this thing.
Yeah, and then you fucking get these. See,
I want to give some context on this.
context.
Firstly, we did Ryksupp's single from this last
We
week.
did.
There was like very little publication for it, so we were like, where the fuck is this from? Why has it got Star Wars in it?
Yeah.
And
Why does
this
it
is
have-
actually,
Yeah, that was good.
interestingly enough, this is actually the second time Disney have done this. They did it before with an album called Deconstructed, where they got a load of artists, big artists there as well. They didn't have as many artists, and they didn't have as interesting artists. They had more big-time EDM people there. It was people like Avicii was on there and stuff like that.